Hello guys, Jacob from the team New Matrix here with another deck profile, this time of the new clan Genesis. This deck features Fortuna with Break Ride. Really good deck, really fun deck to play. You can really play with your opponent's mind, and you can do some really nice stuff with some of the cards. Really good plays. To the starter, we run Cinnamon. Really good starter. Forerunner. So when you ride over, you can pull it back. And when you boost a grade 3 with this card, and you hit the Vanguard, you soul charge this card and then soul charge 2 more cards. And that's a soul charge of 3, and that's the magic number in this deck. You always want to have a number of 3 in your soul. So really good card, helps you do a lot with the deck. Over to the triggers. We run 4 draws, 2 of different kinds, just to play with the opponent's mind. So they maybe think we run 6 or 8. Then 4 heals, mandatory, and 8 crit. You just want to run many crits so you can, because of Fortuna's effect, so you can get them often. And it's really fun to double crit this deck, and it's quite easy if you get a lot of soul. Over to the grade 1, we run 4 Wizard Frog Melissa. Staple card in the deck, your main right target. Effect, when this card is soul blasted, you can counterblast 1 and put it on rearguard. This is really good because that helps you get field presence when you have Broker Odin, and when you use Fortuna's Limit Break. You can do some really good plays with this and the grade 2, because you can, when you can't call it out, you can, it's not to open rearguard, so you can override something with it. So you can get 4 or 5 attacks off in one turn, thanks to these cards. Then we run Witch of Cats. Really good card. When it's called to rearguard or vanguard, you can soul charge 1. That soul charge 1 is not necessary, but sometimes it can make some difference, because you have some cards that just soul charge 1. So good card, and it helps you get Melissa and the grade 2 I will show you later into soul, because if you don't have them in soul, it's a little bad, but stuff happens. You can't control what you get into soul, unfortunately. Then we run 2 Takuyahime, I think her name is. Good card. You don't use effect that often. She's just a card to apply pressure, because your opponent doesn't want you to soul shot 3. But the cost of 2 counterblasts is a little heavy for just the soul shot 3, so you don't use it that often if you don't need to. So it's just a pressure card, fake pressure card in this deck. And I don't run any 8k because it doesn't matter in this deck. It doesn't break any numbers, so it doesn't matter. And then of course 4 perfect guards, really needed in this meta with break rides and all other crazy stuff that's going on. Then over to grade 2, we run 4 Witch of Ravens, the same as Witch of Frogs. So when she's soul blasted, you can blast 1 and call her to rearguard. So say you have attack with 1 row, soul blast her, you can just call her over and get another attack. That's really good to do, especially if you want to final push. Really stable card, also your main right target on grade 2. Then we have 4 Witch of Brooms. These cards apply a lot of pressure to the opponent because they don't want you to draw more cards. And the only thing that use counterblast, you have many things that use counterblast, but the counterblast it's not a counterblast heavy deck because the opponents will often perfect guard your attacks. That's why she puts a lot of pressure, and when you get her off, it's always nice to get an extra card. And the opponent will often get rid of her as fast as can, so she often became a 10 or even 15k guard because they waste attack on her instead of the Vanguard. So it's really good. Always fun to see the opponent struggle a little. And then we run 3 Satuhima Hime. Same effect as the grade 1, but only counterblast 1, and that's really good. If you get her effect, if you hit with this, you will soul charge 3, because then you can do some really fun stuff on grade 3. And seize your second right target on grade 2. So you don't really want to ride Wish of Brooms if you have an option. Then we have grade 3. 4 break rates, 1 SP, of course. Really good break rate, not the optimal break rate for Fortuna, but that it was we have in the English meta for the moment. Her effect is when she attacks, you have to soul charge 1 to get 1000 power. So unless you have her on Vanguard at least 2 or 3 turns, she won't do any crazy things with your soul. That's why we want to run Wish of Frogs to even out how many cards you get in soul. Okay effect can be a problem that you really that it's a must that you need to soul charge because sometimes it make you lose deck out really fast, but we can't do anything about that. Her break ride skill is when you break ride, give Vanguard 10,000 power, of course. Then you give 2 rearguards 5k power, and then when you attack with that card with Vanguard, you soul blast 3 and draw a card. This is a really good time to soul blast your Melissas and Wish of Ravens, because you get to choose what you soul blast, so you can take out 1 or 2 new columns if you want to attack with. So that's really good. And then over to the main star of the deck, Goddess of Good Luck, Fortuna. Really good card. Applies a lot of pressure. She has 2 effects. First effect that is in Limit Break is a Soul Blast 3 and get 5k power until the end of turn. Good effect, you don't really use it that much if you don't need to force your way through. But her Limit Break does almost the same thing. Her Limit Break is Soul Blast 3 again, so 3 is the magic number in your soul. When you drive check a grade 1 or higher Genesis, you can Soul Blast 3 and discard that card, so you get to drive check once again. So you can drive check till you get 2 triggers or you have no soul left. This will really work out well because you can search for triggers and discard cards you don't want. For example, grade 3s. If you don't want them in hand, you can just stitch them and get a new card. That's really good and really powerful. I've won a lot of games thanks to I have drive check again 4 or 5 times just to get 2 criticals. So that's really good, and applies a lot of pressure because your opponent really don't want to pass or to pass this card, because you will come through, and no pass can also be a really bad idea. Yep, thank you for your time, and see you next time. Bye.